Good morning, guys. Grayson is actually down for his first nap of the day. It's actually kind of an early one for him because he woke up kind of early, but I can't complain because he slept mostly through the night. So he just decided he wanted to be up early. So now it is 8:15-ish, and he's down for his nap. And this is when I do like my morning routine. Like, this is when I really feel like a human again. So I do some like journaling, I do like planning, and then I have 3 things I do every single day. So I have, firstly, this intellectual devotional, which has like every single day has something new, and it's like just learning. So I know devotionals are usually like thought of as like religious, but this one is just about learning. So like on Monday you learn about, I think it's history. 1 minute. Yeah, on Monday you learn about history, Tuesday literature, Wednesday visual arts, Thursday science, Friday music, Saturday philosophy, and Sunday is religion. So today is Tuesday, and no, that's a lot. Today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, which means it's visual arts, and today I'm going to read about the girl with the pearl earring. It has like a little picture of the work of art there. So I do that every day, and then I also write that in my journal because for me, like, writing things down helps me learn. So I'm learning something new every single day. I'm not going to retain it all, like, I know this, but I will write it down every single day and like write some notes down too that I find interesting, or like my thoughts on what I just read or anything. I write that down. Here, I'll show you. So this is my journal, and like this top section, this was yesterday. This is my top section about my intellectual devotional, which I read about literature, postmodernism. So I would not have remembered what postmodernism was unless I like write it down. And that's the way I learn. So I know I need to do that. So that's the first thing I do during my time while Grayson's napping. Normally I also have a coffee. I haven't made my coffee yet. I need to do that. And I'm also still in my pajamas. So this is a very relaxed, like, I'm sitting here at this desk I have in the living room now, and I do all of these things. So the next thing I do is I read a personal development book. So right now I'm reading this parenting book. I'm literally almost done. I think I'm going to finish it today. But Parenting from Surviving to Thriving. And I started this because in, I think, March, not this book, but like doing personal development, because in like, I think it was March, I tried to do the 75 hard. I failed. I didn't complete it. But one of the habits in 75 hard is you're supposed to read 10 pages of a personal development or like self-help book, and I've just carried that that habit on, and it's so nice. I've read 3, maybe 4 personal development books since then, and all I do is read 10 pages a day. There are some days where I'm like really into a chapter that I just like keep going and finish the chapter, but I commit to 10 pages a day, and that has been so nice. It's like such a good amount of information too, especially with personal development books when you want to like retain it all. Just reading like 10 pages is like enough to like digest it all day. So I also do that in my journal here. This section here, I write down the personal development, I write down the book I'm reading, and then I write down any notes I have. So then the final thing that I do is I'm actually reading the Bible right now. So we keep our channel very non-denominational, but that's also how our life is. So I was raised in a Christian church, but I wouldn't say that I've necessarily been religious for the past like 10 years. However, this year I just like wanted to read the Bible, and honestly it started when I was doing the personal development stuff. I was like, I really just want to like read this. Like, I don't know how I feel about everything right now, but I would like to educate myself on it. And so I'm reading the whole Bible in a year. I'm like 30% of the way done, and I bought this new Bible to read through it. And so I literally have so many notes and sticky notes, and like, I don't know, it's been really fun, and I'm using it more like a study, and like just like taking in the information, if that makes sense. So let me show you like a cool page. I mean, this is a nice page. So like, it's very like intellectual how I'm like approaching it. So I like highlight certain things, I circle names and locations, I underline certain things, I take notes, and like I'm processing it as a grown adult intellectual, and taking that information and doing with it what I will right now. So right now I'm just reading through it, and the study I'm following, I'm actually like, I really enjoy the way that it goes. So because the Old Testament is like not great to read. Actually, I don't mind it as much as people hate on it. Like, I really don't mind it. I'm currently in Deuteronomy, so it's not too bad. But I read a passage from the Old Testament every day. I read a passage from the New Testament every day, and then I read one of the Psalms. And by the end of the year, I'll have read the Old Testament all the way through once, the New Testament through twice, and the Psalms all through twice. So I do that every day. I also have like a little devotional I'm doing right now because it's about like learning how to read the Bible. So I try to do that every day too. And all of this is usually done within Grayson's first nap. Granted, I'm talking to you guys today instead of getting right to work, so I probably won't get done. But I can normally get all of that, and I'm looking at my bookshelf. I can normally get all of that done during his first nap. And so then every day I'm left with something like this. Actually, it's more like this. This is a full day's work. So I have all my to-dos, which I set out the week before. Underneath there, I journal. And then on this side is where I do intellectual, devotional, personal development book, Bible study notes, and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk about my morning routine, mostly because I filled up an entire journal. So this is from 2021 to 2022, and it's entirely full. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. That is why I have this one now, and I've only been using it for 2 months, and I'm already nearly halfway full. So I just have found a system as far as planning, journaling, studying, all that kind of stuff. Like the things that make me feel like me, I've found my system that works for me now, which is a big deal after you have a kid. So I wanted to show about my like morning routine and stuff because like that's my big refresh for myself. But I also want to do a flip through of this. Do you guys think you would like that? Okay guys, so this is my journal from 2021 to 2022. It actually spans May 2021 to March 2022, and I just went through it and kind of covered up some of the private journaling or anything like this, anything that I didn't want you guys to read. Granted, I'm trusting you not to necessarily stop on every page and read it. I just want to kind of like show you my system and these pages that I like love to flip through. I'd love to show them off to you guys. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. This vinyl I made on my Cricut. This is a sticker, and then this is like washi, and then all the sparkles you see here is because I have this sleeve. So like this plastic thing, it's got these pockets and it wraps around the notebook to kind of like protect it, I suppose. And then normally when I'm like currently in the notebook, it goes inside of like a binder thing, which you saw in my last one when I was holding it up, that like brown orangey like planner like binder thing that goes like over it. So I don't ever carry it around like just like this. But then once I finished it, I went ahead and made this vinyl on my Cricut as well. And then this is a sticky note that's like under the sleeve, and it just talks about the one where, and I list like the things that happened in this journal. So for example, this is the one where we got pregnant, where Grayson was born, and where I started reading the Bible. And the point of that is to be able to like put this on my shelf and grab it, and if I'm looking for something that I want to reference, or like I want to read about a moment in my life, like these are the big ticket like moments, at least how I pictured this time period. These are like the items that are important. So the first page here, this is washi tape. I think it's just gray. Yeah, so this is the way the page normally looks, and I went ahead and did like this cool washi tape design all the way from each side. And then in here are some random stickers, and this is my cover page, which I always put like the date. I have this sticky note that says if found, return to, and then it has my phone number, but I just like folded that so you can't see it. And then this is like my key, which I don't even need to write it down. I know what it is now, but it's just like something nice to have on that first page. This is like a dashboard, and this is vellum, and you'll see I do this throughout the planner. I like tip in pieces of paper and vellum and like acetate. Here's one right here. So I just tip that in, and this is like what I would call like my inbox. So I put some quick notes. This is like a pocket, and then here I have this D sticker that I didn't actually stick, I just slid it in there. And then my master to-do list. This is nice. This is just like a running list of like brain dump things that like don't have a specific day. And I have too many pages for that. When I was initially making this notebook, I thought I would need more. And then I have my May time, like calendar. So every month I have a tab up here. You can see this one has spanned many, many months because this was the first time I ever did this, and I like came and went from this planner a lot. Whereas like now I have a system, and so my other one, it's only been 2 months and it's halfway full, and that's because I like have a system I use every single day now. But this is my monthly calendar. This is one of my favorite things because I love to use stickers, but it's just not a practical part of my planning anymore like it used to be. And I have a bunch of stickers I need to use. So every day I put down like a sticker that I think like represents the day or like what I did. And so it doesn't have like a whole lot of meaning, but it's a fun way to use my stickers, and like I love the feeling of this page. If you're a sticker fanatic, you kind of will know exactly what I mean. But then it starts my dailies. So this is all the way back in May of last year. So this is when I was figuring out my system and what worked for me. It's always been a thing for me to plan my entire week, so I write the dates at the top all the way for the whole week. So that's what this is, Monday through Sunday. And then I go and I divvy out my to-dos for the week, and then I journal either that evening or the next day, like in the morning, I journal about the day before and kind of just talk about things. So this was just me doing that back last year. And then normally I put a piece of vellum to separate the more like plannery pages, and then these are note-taking pages. So like random notes I have throughout the week. I have an order tracker here. This is like continued journaling. So on May 3rd it says I didn't have enough space here, and down here it says like continued on page 21 because I number all of my pages as well. So if you come to page 21, the journaling continues, and that's the way that I can continue to journal even when like I'm pre-doing my weeks and only have certain amount of space. So then at the end of the notes pages, so when I'm about ready to start a new week, I'll put another piece of vellum in here, and then I'll copy all of my previous to-dos that I didn't get done from my to-do lists this week. Where are they at? They're there. So anything I didn't get done goes here, and then all the weekly items that I need to do this week that I don't want to forget when I'm making out my week. So then I make out my week. And this is like the system every single week. This worked so good for me. So weekly planning and journaling, vellum, note-taking pages. And I do that for as long as I need, as much note-taking as I need. And then when it's a new week, new piece of vellum, previous to-dos, and then plan the week. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'll mostly just flip through it and mention anything that like comes to mind. But that's my system. So now you kind of understand how this is laid out, how it gives me like so much freedom as far as like it just being a blank notebook, but also like I obviously have a structure to it that helps me stay focused. Oh, okay. So here I've got a day on 2 pages. So this is 1 day's worth of page. This is 1 day's worth of page. This is when I was pregnant. I got pregnant in January of last year, so May. I've been pregnant for a little while. But this is when I found out I had gestational diabetes, and they had me tracking a lot of things at first just to like try to see any trends and stuff. So I was obviously taking my glucose multiple times a day, and then I was tracking my food to see if I could see any correlation between certain foods I ate and how it affected me. Granted, it's gestational diabetes. It's not always caused by food. I mean, it can be changed by food, modified by food, but we actually got to the point where I couldn't control it with no matter how much I tried with my diet. So we got on medication, but this was me trying to figure that out and tracking everything. And then it was so nice because when I went to the doctor, I literally just showed him this notebook, and I'm sure he thought I was crazy I looked crazy with this like journal like this, but yeah. And then I had an extra sheet here, so I did like a glucose review and just kind of wrote about what I might have learned from that week. And these are my notes from that week. I had this sticky note like here sticking out of the bottom or something to remind me to like do some note taking on this or like brain mapping, and that never happened. Then it's going to be a new month, so I have an entire review over May, and now starts June. So here you can tell I determined that I didn't need to be tracking my glucose in the way that we were. I either like was on medication at this point or kind of knew what I was doing, that tracking wasn't really necessary. I love that I can flip to pages like this and see big ticket things like really big. Like there was an earthquake this day. It's fun, like my journaling is fun to read through as well, like whenever I feel like it, but also to just flip through all of this and see like big ticket items that I wrote like really huge is really fun. So I just want to reiterate that things like this are not normally in my journal, or like this. This is covering up private stuff that I just put in there for like right now. Okay, June is over, so here's July. You can see I stopped planning in July. Grayson was born in September 2nd. But I just really fell off the bandwagon, I think because I was very pregnant at this point, and it was my like busy season for weddings. I was very stressed about the work I had to do while being pregnant, and like once Grayson was here, like I was already pre-stressed about how that process was going to be with work and everything, so I kind of fell off the bandwagon a little bit. You can see here I didn't even like journal on some days. This here is a tip-in, like, so this is a piece of paper from my digital planner. So I have a YouTube account called DigiDanico, which we link on the very bottom of this YouTube page if you like go to our actual channel. And I do some digital planning there, haven't in a long time, but that's what this is. This is my digital planner that I like draw out. I started to do some like time blocking, and so I would time block in my digital planner, and then I could print that out, and I taped it in here, so that way I had my list of like to-dos and stuff for every day, but it was nice to see like my intended blocks of time when I'm in my paper planner, and didn't like need to grab my digital planner for that. So that's what this is. If you see a few of those, I think I did that for a couple of weeks. Here you can tell I didn't even journal. It was just about getting the tasks done. And here's my time blocking digital planning sheet taped in. And then here, okay, so what day was this? July 25th, which means I didn't do anything in August. I put an August tab, but if you were to come here, there's nothing. And then I had Grayson September 2nd. So then I have a September tab here. I just put the August one mostly so that way like I have every month up top. But I didn't journal for like a month, over a month, because then I had a baby. and I kind of talked about that a little bit here. I'm gonna put a picture of Grayson in here someday. And then it's actually October when I like finally picked this planner up again. So the entire month of September, when Grayson's a month old, I actually like backdated this. So if that makes sense. So like in July I fell off the bandwagon, put this August tab in, I wrote that I had a baby and put a September tab in and journaled a little bit about that. And then it's actually October when I want to start planning. So here's my October tab and my October spread. And I started doing everything on October 18th. So all of these stickers before 18th are back put in. So like these 3 rows. And I just went through like my pick camera roll and my iPhone calendar and like remembered what each day was and kind of put the stickers in there. So then I started planning again, and it's funny, this journal entry right here talks about how the reason I actually want to start using this journal again is because the new Animal Crossing 2.0 update was coming out and I had work I needed to do, and so I was like, okay, how can I prioritize this work and still play video games and also take care of a baby? So I was starting to like feel the need for organizing my life again and really focusing on to-dos. So that's how it started up again in October. I also was trying new things like a habit tracker. I feel like I was just like rediscovering myself as a person at this point because I just had a baby and I didn't really know like how to do things, if that makes sense. So like my previous system of like to-dos and journaling, I was trying to jump right back into that, and it wasn't working as easily as it had before because now I have a baby. So you'll see a lot more experimentation with certain things within these pages as I'm like figuring my life out and how to like do stuff. So we're already in November and I stopped planning and journaling again. So it just like wasn't working out. I was trying, here's like a really fancy habit tracker I made for the month of November and didn't stick with at all. I didn't have a system that worked for me again since having a baby. And I think I also was like trying to do too much too soon. Grayson at this point was just a month old. Well, in November he was 2 months old, and I was still like getting back into everything. And then here I stopped, so November 13th. I didn't even write to-dos on these days. Here I put the tab for December on November 13th just to have a tab for December, but I didn't do anything in December. And then in January I have this tab here. I journaled a little bit. Look, it's already January 31st. So I journaled a little bit, and then it's February, and this is just straight journaling. So I needed to like get some thoughts out. I didn't even put my to-dos in here. I got my Bible this day. See, I'm writing on a morning routine for Grayson. I'm trying to figure out my mornings because I knew I wanted a nice little morning routine. So this is me figuring things out. This is when, so Friday, look, you can see I don't have any to-dos listed down. But this is when I started doing like journaling, not journaling, but like note taking for my intellectual, devotional, personal development, and then I have Bible study notes. So I was figuring out that I needed to write those things down. I was doing that stuff regularly. And then here is where we get to like kind of the spread I have right now. So it's 2 pages per 1 day. And this one I wrote goal and dinner. I did that for a while and then I never like would fill out goal. And that was like, if I accomplish everything on my to-do list, like what am I gonna, it's more like reward rather than goal. And then dinner, I still write down my dinners every day, and then my to-dos, journaling, and then on this side, you know, like I said, intellectual, devotional, personal development, Bible study. So this is when I really figured out that that was the layout I needed. And I started creating a morning routine with myself and Grayson. During his first nap, I would do this, and this has been going on since February now. So it's something that I've been keeping consistent with. as far as like this layout, doing these every single day since February. It's not like super new, so if you like flip to this page compared to like May of 2021, like the concept is always there. It's just I finally have honed in on this system that works for me now that I am a mom. Here you can see March started. I didn't do monthly spreads at first. It was all about just doing these daily pages. And then I'm currently right now doing monthly sticker pages again. But yeah, so I'm just like flying through this because I literally figured out like my system and what worked for me. Every once in a while you'll see I have these tab flags down here. These are just important notes that at the time I needed to flip back to or reference. If they're relevant enough, I will copy them into my notes app on my phone or on my computer, because that's where I keep like all of my long-term notes, is in the notes app. And I'll copy it like text-wise. I'll like type it up and make it usable on the notes app, but I'll also take a picture of the spread here so I can see that like, okay, it was like originally in my planner and stuff. So here I'm already I'm nearing the end. You can see like at this point it gets really hard to write on. But I'm already doing some planner prep on some of my spreads about like what I'm gonna put in my new journal. With me doing 2 like pages per day, I was able to like pretty much time it out perfectly on when I was gonna move into my new planner. So I'd already purchased all the supplies and all the papers, and I did a bunch of reels, which more are still actually gonna come out. I have them like pre-filmed, I just haven't like posted them. But I did a bunch of reels on setting up my new planner, so check out that if you're interested. But this is my 2021 and 2022 journal. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love just like touching the paper, and now this will live on my bookshelf forever. I really want to know. Sorry, I have to close these because this is where you guys were in the cabinet. But I really want to know if you guys are paper fanatics like me, or if you enjoy journaling or planning, or like what your morning routine and systems are. So comment down below, talk with me about that. Also follow me on Instagram if you want to see even more, because I've been posting like a lot of journaling content and stuff like that on my Instagram. But I'm gonna let you go for this vlog is very long. So I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Boop.